All right, let's call the meeting to order for October 19th, 2020 for the Sacramento County Planning Commission. Let's start with the opening comment first.
Absolutely. In compliance with directives of the county state and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this meeting is live streamed and closed to the public. Temporary procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person contact. To make a verbal comment at today's meeting, dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed in queue for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter. When the chair opens public comment for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter, callers will be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make a verbal comment. And written comments are always accepted. And please feel free to send your email comments to boardclerk@saccounty.net, and your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record.
All right, start with roll call.
Yes. Member Hom?
Here.
Member Martinson? Member Martinson?
I'm here, but I'm on my phone. Can you unmute my phone and I'll mute my computer?
There we go. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we've got a bit of an echo.
Okay, thanks. I'll mute myself.
Okay. Commissioner, Member Tatishi?
Here.
And Member Shelby?
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Perfect. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
Can we call up the first item on the agenda?
Yes, item number 1 is calls for a use permit and design review located approximately 319 feet southwest of Coda Lane in the Carmichael community, and the environmental documentation is exempt.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm David Ulrey, the planner for the 1870 Claremont Road project. We can go to the next slide. The project is a request for a conditional use permit to encroach into the 60-foot bluff setback in erosion zone 4 of the Parkway Corridor Combining Zone. The project consists of the renovation of the existing 3,843 square foot residence and the addition of approximately 2,316 square feet. The addition does include a second story. Additionally, the existing house does have to be taken down to the foundation, and the foundation is required to be raised a foot per the flood control board. And next slide, please. Here we have the existing residence that dates to 1973. Next slide, please. Here's the site plan. The crosshatched area shown on the plan indicates the area of addition. It's important to note that all areas of the addition are located outside of the setback area. The portions of the home encroaching into the setback are an existing condition. The Parkway Corridor Combining Zone, however, does require homes within the setback to attain a conditional use permit, even if the area of addition is outside of the bluff setback area. Additionally, the house does predate the 1977 adoption of the Parkway Corridor Combining Zone, which necessitates the conditional use permit, so a use permit was never attained for the current encroachment. Next slide, please. Here we have the 3D perspectives. The bottom 2 images show the house from the river. The second story has been stepped back to be outside of the 60-foot bluff setback and to orient the building mass away from the river. Next slide, please. Here we have the 2D front and rear elevations. The rear elevation gives another perspective showing the second story setback. Next slide. And here we have the side elevations. And so on the bottom one there, the left side is the river facing side. Then the right side is facing the river. Next slide. Here are the proposed colors. It is important to note that the trim color of natural choice was selected in response to the American River Parkway Advisory Committee. They requested that the initial trim of pure white be changed to a more subdued color. And the committee did review the natural choice color and found it to be appropriate and a significant improvement on the pure white color. Next slide, please. And here is the first story floor plan. Next slide. And here we have the second story floor plan. Next slide. So to summarize, the property is located in erosion zone 4 of the Parkway Corridor Combining Zone, which has a bluff setback requirement of 60 feet. The existing residence currently encroaches into the bluff setback area, however, never attained a conditional use permit due to its construction predating the Parkway Corridor Combining Zone's adoption. All new square footage is located outside of the setback area, and the project does comply with all development standards aside from the bluff setback standard. Additionally, a geotechnical study was performed, which found the project to be feasible. Next slide. The American River Parkway Advisory Committee, the Design Review Advisory Committee, the Carmichael CPAC, and the Parks Commission did review the project and all recommended approval. Next slide, please. And with that, staff recommends that the project be found exempt under Section 15303 of the California Environmental Quality Act, approve the use permit subject to findings and conditions in Attachment 2, and find the project in substantial compliance with the countywide design guidelines. I did want to inform the commission that staff proposes the removal of the Sacramento Area Sewer District conditions. These are conditions 17 through 19 in Attachment 2. After the packet was finalized, the sewer district reviewed the conditions at the applicant's request and found them not to be applicable. We do have Yadira Lewis from the sewer district as well, if there are any specific questions on this. And then additionally, condition 9 from environmental management did have a typographical error. The condition should have read, the proposed upgraded system must be designed in compliance with EMD's liquid waste permitting and inspection program requirements, rather than destroyed in compliance. And with that, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions, and the applicant is here as well.
Do you have any questions for staff?
This Commissioner Hom, I do for David.
Sure.
Good evening, David. On your site plan, or on the site plan, I should say, there appears to be a retaining wall on the river bank that's outside the setback line. Is that existing or is that new?
That's an existing retaining wall.
Okay, and there are no new proposed retaining wall with this project, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, if there is none, we can, oh, do you have one, Kara? Mr. Martinson?
No, I just said I'm good.
Oh, okay. Then we can, bring the applicant forward. Do you have an applicant here?
Yes, the applicant's here. This is Andy Pedagopoulos. I'm helping the Kellys on this application. We're just here to answer any questions, but David did a fine job presenting the application to you.
Okay, and another question I have is, are you okay with all the conditions of approval?
Yes, with those changes that David mentioned. we accept the conditions.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? All right, there is none. We'll close the public comment section. Entertain a motion.
Okay, and just for the record, there are no public comments currently.
I'm sorry, there is one public comment. This is Alma from the Clerk of the Board's office. If you could just hold one moment, we do have one public comment. I'm sorry, but the public commenter did hang up from the line. They did not answer the line. So I guess there are no more public comment.
Okay. We'll close the public comment and entertain a motion.
Kara, I'm happy to move staff's recommendation. Or go ahead, Peter, if you want. Okay.
So we had Kara recommend the motion, and we had like Peter second it.
Okay, and if we're ready for a roll call. Member Hahn,
Got to turn on the mic. Yes.
okay, thank you. And Member Martinson,
Yes.
Member Tatishi,
Yes.
and Member Shelby,
Yes.
and the motion passes.
Can call the second item on the agenda, please.
Yes, and item number 2 is a resolution honoring Tina Polly for her service to the Sacramento County Planning Commission.
Hi, this is Alma Munoz from the Clerk of the Board's office. I spoke to Chairperson Shelby since the last meeting, and because with Chairperson Polly's exit, I asked if he wanted to add a resolution to the agenda to honor Chairperson Polly for her service to the commission as well as to the Sacramento community. So District 4 Supervisor Sue Frost's office assisted with putting together this resolution for Commissioner Polly. And so I just wanted to open it up to any comments you may want to make. She is still in transit as I understand it, and so unable to participate, but so I just wanted to bring this forward at the chairperson's request.
Sure, that was going to be my only question was, is she able to join us tonight? But I guess she's not on the line, so bummer. Wish her all the best.
She's not, she's still in transition. She's still in moving mode, so. But I will finish we'll put the resolution in fancy form and all, and then we'll mail it to her new address in Naples, Florida.
I'm just sort of question, should we or do we need to read the resolution for the record, or?
We can, I can read it for the record, no problem.
What do you think, Chair Shelby?
Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea.
Okay. So this is Alma Munoz. I'll read the resolution for the record. This is a resolution honoring Christina A. Polly for her service to the Sacramento County Planning Commission, whereas this resolution recognizes Christina A. Polly Tina for her service to the Sacramento County Planning Commission and being an active community volunteer in Sacramento County for the past 29 years, and whereas Tina was appointed to the Sacramento Planning Commission on January 23rd, 2018, and was elected as chairperson of the Sacramento County Planning Commission on February 10th, 2020. And whereas Tina was a Folsom Planning Commissioner prior to her appointment to the Sacramento County Planning Commission, where she learned in depth how governments work to serve the public. And whereas Tina also understands and has implemented the knowledge of balancing growth and conservation during her time as a planning commissioner. And whereas Tina has been a part of over 15 community groups as a volunteer, including the Folsom Chamber of Commerce, the Folsom Economic Development Corporation, as well as the governor's appointee as acting director of general services and deputy director of public safety networks. And whereas Tina's commitment to her community has shown through all that she has done throughout the years, and each of those rich experiences have given her a perspective on the interconnection we all share in our community. Whereas it is most important to recognize Tina for her accomplishments and service to the Sacramento County community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Sacramento County Planning Commission does herewith recognize Tina for her service and accomplishments to the Sacramento County community.
Fantastic. Any other, go ahead. You said something, Commissioner Hom.
Oh, I was going to say, should I make a motion to, I'm not sure how to phrase this, accept or approve or the resolution for Commissioner Pauli?
I'll second that.
Is that the right motion?
It is correct. It's
Okay.
fine.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. And are you ready to take the roll call vote?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Hom?
Yes, and thank you.
Okay. And Commissioner Martinson?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Tatici?
Yes.
And Commissioner Shelby?
Yes.
Okay. And the motion passes.
Can
And
we go to, oh, sure. Good.
absolutely. Item number 3 is the election of chair and vice chair.
Silence.
I nominate Commissioner Shelby to serve as chair since he's acting.
And I nominate Commissioner Martinson as vice chair.
You sure you don't want to do it, Alan?
I think you and Commissioner Shelby do a great job. And that's like I said, that's Commissioner Tatici would like to.
I second your motion in every way possible.
All right.
Okay, this is Lydia with the clerk of the board's office, and just to make sure I've got this right, in a recap, was it Commissioner Tatici nominating Commissioner Shelby for chair?
Yes.
Okay, and then Commissioner Shelby, you've nominated Commissioner Martinson as vice chair, is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All of
Okay,
you.
all righty. And then let's see, so Commissioner Hom
Yes.
and Commissioner Martinson?
Yes.
I apologize if you'll give me just one moment.
May I have a hanging chad?
Okay, this is Lydia with the clerk of the board's office, and on the Munos just clarified the process for me, thankfully. Okay, so Commissioner Tatici made the motion initially, so we'll need a second on it. And then
I'll
we'll
second.
take a,
I'll go ahead and second.
and this Commissioner Hahn, thank you.
Yes.
And then we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on that, on this first. So,
Oh, can we do this both together?
no, unfortunately we cannot. And then I can have Alma's here so she can explain it.
Okay.
Because the two different people made the motion for two different for the two different positions, you'll need to take two different votes.
Oh, can we just withdraw it and redo a motion for?
You can do that too.
I'll withdraw my motion and make a new motion to nominate Commissioner Shelby for chair and Commissioner Martinson for vice chair.
Perfect, thank you.
Oh, great.
And I will second that.
And Commissioner Hom, that was you seconding that motion?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And we'll start over. Commissioner Hom
Yes.
and Commissioner Martinson
Yes.
and Commissioner Tatishi
Yes.
and Commissioner Shelby.
Yes.
And the motion passes. And would you like me to move on to the fourth item?
Yes, please.
Okay, item number 4 is the planning director's report.
Good evening, Commissioners. Chris Pahuli. I do have a few items to talk to you about under scheduling matters, so I'll cover that under number 5. But under the planning director's report, Leanne Moffett, your planning director, is on the line, and I know that she has a couple of updates.
Good evening. This is Leanne Moffett. Hopefully everyone can hear me.
We hear you just great.
Thank you. Just had a couple items I wanted to let you know about. As you recall, we came forward and gave a presentation on the status of the housing element recently. We did a similar report to the board, and you all had worked on one of the new program or the program 1 language, and they accepted that language that you had developed and forwarded, whereas modified by you. So we're now on to the second phase of our outreach process. So I wanted to let you know that we are having a couple of webinar sessions, one on November 10th at 6:30 and one on November 12th at 2 p.m. And information on those can be found on our webpage. You just search by Sacramento County Housing Element Update. You can find information about those 2 items. So wanted to let you know that that housing element work continues. And then secondly, I did also want to note that the board recently adopted the New Bridge specific plan. That was a pretty big plan and one that you all had heard and had recommended approval of. So that did receive final approval by the board. And those were my 2 items.
Thank you. We move on to miscellaneous scheduling matters. Chris, did you have some stuff?
Yeah, I did. Just wanted to kind of go over a couple of items now that we're getting closer to the end of the year. The items that we have on tap for you are coming a little bit more clearer into focus. So as you all know, we do have a meeting next week on the 26th. There are 2 items that are coming before you. One is a ordinance related to accessory dwelling units, I guess another ordinance related to accessory dwelling units, and then a general plan amendment related to greenhouse gas emissions. And we are going to be canceling the November 9th meeting. So there are no items scheduled for the November 9th meeting. You will have an evening off. But November 23rd, the clerk of the board's office just recently sent around a poll. I think we know for certain that 3 out of the 4 of you will be able to be there. And that meeting, it's looking like we have a number of items that will be brought before you that evening. So that's sort of where we're at currently. Again, November 9th canceled, November 23rd holding that meeting, and then it's likely the November 14th meeting will also have a number of items. So I'm sorry, the December 14th meeting will have a number of items. So again, things are coming a little bit more clearer into focus, and just wanted to provide you with an update on where we see things heading through the end of the year.
This is Commissioner Tatishi. Just curious if I'm listed as attending or not attending the November 23rd.
I hadn't, based on the email responses, I didn't see that you had provided a response.
Okay, great. It was up in the air, and my family is going to be out of town that week, so I will not be available on the 23rd.
Okay, fantastic. That's good to know. Okay.
All right, with that, we can move on. Do we have any, I think we have any public comments?
And currently, we do not have any public comments.
All right, with that, then we'll call the meeting adjourned.
Okay, already.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.